Hello and welcome to NW Bushcraft. Now for today's video I wanted to go through my tinder kit. So straight away let's compare the size. So this is a small wallet, as you can see. It's a reasonably big tinder tin. Now let's get into the content. So can you see right at the top we have a standard lighter. And we have some wet fire. Now these are really good for starting fires. You can use the shavings and you can light them with your ferrocerium wad. Now there's two of those. Also inside here we have some homemade long-lasting matches. These are matches which have a wick and they have some wax and they last quite a long time. Next here what we have is another homemade fire starter. So we have a thin piece of fat wood, and on here, as you can see, this bright orange thing, this is the stormproof match, the phosphorus that you will find on it. This is basically just condensed all into one big lump, so this will light very, very easily. Next up, we have another piece of fat wood. And as you can see, it's all wrapped up in jute. Jute is absolutely excellent for starting fires. We can use the fine fibres in here, and it's an excellent combination for the fat wood. Often the May dust that you can make from fat wood can be maybe a tad difficult to light. Use a bit of jute and makes it even simpler. So next we have several bits of fat wood. So we have another big piece over here and several smaller bits. Next up, you can see here there's a piece of fat wood and you see a black substance. Okay, well this is pine pitch, so this lights really, really nicely, so this makes it an even better fire starter. So I've made that while I've been out on my last camp. So next up we have a piece of flint, and that will be used with my striker that I keep on my sheath. So another excellent fire starter. Obviously, as you can see, even more fat wood. Fat wood's probably my favourite fire starter, so I always try and cram as much of that as possible in here. Here we can see we have some cotton balls with Vaseline. Here we have another cotton ball Vaseline, but it's also been dipped in wax. So this one's a tiny bit harder to light, but it does last longer. We have two tea candles. I'm sure we all know what those are. Here we have a pencil sharpener. Now I can use this on twigs, so that'll make some fine shavings which, with a bit of persistence, can be lit with a ferrocerium rod. And it's also made out of magnesium, so the actual sharpener itself, the shavings, can be used to start a fire as well. Next up we have a box of stormproof matches. We have a King Alfred's cake, which is great for catching embers. Also have a can opener in there, right at the bottom. And then we have our tin. Might be a bit hard to open with one hand. There we are. So we have some amateur in here that I've made. So that's great for catching an ember. And more of that. 3 pieces. And what we also have here is some char cloth, as you can see, the black stuff over there. That's great for catching embers. And we have some May dust, which is an excellent fire starter. And yeah, that about sums it up. So what we've got here is quite a comprehensive tinder kit. There's multiple ways of starting fire. I would recommend at least 3 ways of starting fire in any sort of tinder kit. For mine, you can see I do like to play around a bit. I like to experiment with different things. For instance, this one here, I mean, it's overkill. It certainly takes a lot more time to make than it's probably worth, but it's a bit of fun. So yeah, get experimenting.